evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great day. Cowboys, they got a win today against the Carolina Panthers. I know that doesn't seem like much. I know a lot of people, especially the trolls, Cowboys are stupid. They should just be losing for draft position. Well, here's the reality is we we have a 1% chance of making playoffs, okay? I'm not even thinking that. I said a couple weeks ago, the chances of us making the playoffs are not good. Literally, where we are right now, we got 6 wins. The Commanders are sitting in the last spot for playoffs with 9 wins. We would need for them to lose the rest of their games, and we'd have to beat them. Or we would need, like, Green Bay to lose tonight, and they lose all the rest of their games. I'm not sure we can beat the tiebreaker for them. But then we also have to have San Francisco lose at least one more game than we do. And we'd also have to have the Cardinals lose one more game than we have. And the Rams. Yeah. So we need actually Seattle to win tonight because we need them to win their division, I think. Yeah, we need them to win their division. It's so many scenarios. The chances are slim and none. We've got all kinds of different news because this is going to be really busy. When the offseason hits, by March 15th, a lot of things are going to transpire for the Dallas Cowboys. And I mean a lot of things. First thing we have to find out 3 weeks from now is, are we keeping the coach? And I hope that the Cowboys don't drag this thing out where, that they're looking for drama. If you're going to start over, we need to start over quickly and hit the ground running because you're going to need to hire whatever coaches that you're going to hire. We know that the Cowboys will pick all of the players, the coaches and stuff, for the new coach and everything else. Or if you're bringing back Mike McCarthy, make that call so they can start playing it for next year. Then we've got to figure out who is going to be returning and who is viable for next year. Now, here's where it gets to be crazy. So we're finding out more and more things about Trevon Diggs. Now, Trevon Diggs has the cartilage injury that's going to require surgery, and the rehab could be 8 months. 8 months basically puts you in training camp. Now, here's where we're getting more information and stuff from Jeff Kavanaugh and things. Concerning Diggs' issue in his previously surgically repaired knee, his torn ACL in week 2 of the 23 campaign, suddenly a second procedure looms, which is horrifying news to the Cowboys, especially how deeply invested they are in him. Nevertheless, recent intel from Clarence Hill opens the door for the Cowboys to consider parting ways with the standout cornerback this offseason. Jeff Kavanaugh tweeted out, I can tell you the Cowboys were not happy with the way Diggs has attacked his rehab at Clarence Hill with us. Says Trayvon's new injury is serious and 25 is in danger. So per Clarence Hill and Jeff Kavanaugh, the Cowboys were not happy with Diggs' rehab approach since getting hurt last season. And let's be clear here. I'm going to tell you, modern medicine is incredible, okay? Modern medicine is incredible. To tell you how far it has come. Back in my day, in high school, I tore my ACL. I still don't have an ACL in this knee to this day. Had I torn my ACL the year before, they would have basically went and cut about an 8-inch long scar to get into the knee. In which case it would be sewed up, and if you came back from that injury, you would be a year long just for them to go in and do exploratory surgery. But because I had my ACL in '84, Dr. Brent Ain, who's one of the pioneers of the orthoscope, they scoped my knee. They went in and 3 holes, on a Friday. 3 holes, boom. And they went in and they said my ACL was shredded. Okay, said it looked like 2 mop-ins. And they basically trimmed it up. I started rehab on Monday. I had rehab 5 days a week. 2.5 weeks after that surgery, I played in a game. It's crazy now, knowing what I know now, that I played 2.5 weeks after tearing my ACL. People will tell me, you're a liar. You're not told. There's no way in the world. Oh, yeah, there is. I've been living without that ACL now for 40 years. And trust me, I have a lot of problems with this knee now. But the reality is how much you work to get this thing stronger. Now, Chase Young had a destroyed knee, and they said he wasn't great with his rehab, and it ended up taking longer for it to rehab. So if the Cowboys are looking at this and saying, you tore your knee, you had the surgery, but you didn't really work enough to get back, they're going to look at this and say, what's to say you're going to put in the work this time to really get back to 100%? Because you look at it and you kind of say, he was good, but he wasn't anywhere near what they had when they paid him $92 million. And I hope this is not another case where the Cowboys, now again, the Cowboys signed him before he got injured. But we've had such bad luck with injuries. We had Jalen Smith, who had his knee issue, which wasn't so much the knee as it was the nerve damage that caused drop foot. His foot literally doesn't retract because of the nerve endings. He had a brace that's like a spring that would help to pull his foot back. So he couldn't really push off, which being a linebacker not being able to push off is not a good thing. You think about Michael Gallup, who we signed while he was recovering from his ACL and was never able to really let that thing rip. And now you still have Terrence Steele, who's a great run blocker, which is going straight ahead. It's easier to go straight ahead with a bad ACL than it is backing up and being able to step. And see, that may be the problem that he has in pass blocking. Because, again, it's like Jalen Smith was great in the straight line, but when he had to cut, the body just wouldn't go. And so now the Cowboys are sitting here looking, and we know how cheap they are. Let's take a peek here at over the cap and see where we are. See, he signed his new deal in 23. And see, here's the thing that's interesting about when the Cowboys sign you to a new deal. That first year is dirt cheap, which is why you looked at Diggs's contract and Dak Prescott the first year were relatively low. This season, his cap number was only $14 million, which you say, hey, that's great. Next year, it's $14 million. Now, what you'll notice is there's no more guaranteed money after this season. So technically, the Cowboys can cut him next year and save $1.5 million. They don't have the service. They're going to take a dead hit, of course, of $12.75 million, or they could make him a post June 1st cut, which would mean that they'd split it up over 2 years, and they would save $10 million this year, of course, which they'd have to pay the following year. And so the concern, of course, is, do we cut bait on him at the end of the season, figuring that he didn't do what he needed to do to get back on the field, and or looking at this from the standpoint of saying, it's the same knee, and here it is, you're a year removed from having it worked on, you got a problem with it again. Is this now going to be a chronic issue? And if they're talking about getting rid of them, they may know a whole lot more about this knee than what's been has been given to us, that it may be a lot more damage in it. And they don't want a situation like they had with, say, Jalen Smith. Unfortunately, the Cowboys, this one's a little easier to deal with contract-wise than some of them, but you may end up seeing, you may see him cut possibly this offseason because of that injury. You may see Terrence Steele cut this offseason. And after last year, cutting Michael Gallup, they're beginning to learn damaged goods are damaged goods. And in an NFL season that may go to 18 games, that's not good. All right, you good people. As always, I appreciate you guys. Right now, this isn't good because Green Bay is winning 14-3. You really want Seattle to win this game because Seattle dropping back is another team in the mix. You'd rather them run away with their division and then leave the other guys that have lesser wins, hopefully with lesser wins. So the playoff chances that are slim and none get slimmer by the minute. Have a good day, good people. Peace.